Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's so easy with Anchor.
Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad. We struggled to find the right way to distribute our podcast, and Anchor made it quick, easy, and free. We're on platforms we had never heard of, and that's all thanks to Anchor doing the hard work.
So, if you have been thinking about starting your own podcast, head on over to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start.
Welcome to Spilling the Mad Tea, where we're throwing an unbirthday party to dish on all things Disney. We're your hosts, Katie, Kelly, Rachel, and Stephanie, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing our first top 10. We'll be talking about the things that we love to hate at Walt Disney World. Stephanie, what's one thing you absolutely love to hate when you're at Walt Disney World?
So to start our list off at number 10, we've got celebration buttons. Okay, so this turned from a thing I loved to now a thing I love to hate. I don't know if you remember years ago when the celebration buttons first came out, and it was like the year of celebration or some promotion that Disney was doing. And when you booked your hotel room, they asked you what you were celebrating, and everyone got like a celebration button when they checked in, which was cool for like the few people who were celebrating like something great, like it's actually your birthday, or like I just beat cancer, or like I just got a job. And I'm definitely guilty of turning this into like something that was really great for actually celebrating things worth celebrating, to like, oh, well, like I had a birthday this year, so I'm gonna wear my birthday button all year because I had one.
At some point.
Yeah. And like, or like I'm celebrating the fact that like I didn't have to go to work today. Which is true. I am celebrating the fact that I don't have to go to work today. But when the lady next to me in line is like celebrating like not having breast cancer anymore, I kind of feel like a bit of an ass. And like as a cast member, like you wanted to wish everyone a happy birthday and like give them like the time that they wanted for like having these great celebrations and accomplishments. But when someone's like, oh, I'm celebrating like picking my favorite color, you're like, okay, come on. Like I can't wish everybody like a congratulations. It gets old. So the celebration buttons are something I currently love to hate because they're great, but they also suck.
I feel like that's almost partly on cast members too, at least because in the beginning, every time you went somewhere, it was, are you celebrating something today? Or they would like ask the question, like they wanted the buttons in the park. And so they'd, oh, is it your birthday? Oh, is it, well, you know, are we celebrating something special? And they'd give you a button for every little thing. And it was cool because not a lot of people had them. But then, like you said, it started turning into, I went to the bathroom this morning. Here's a button.
Here's a button.
So my sister, I have two nephews and one niece. And so my sister was in Disney and she got like 60 birthday buttons and was giving them out as like party favors for the kids' birthdays. So yeah, they're definitely an oversaturation of celebration buttons.
Yeah, there's no limit to those suckers.
I remember the first time I wore one and I'm like, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to wear this.
Mm-hmm. And now when I don't have one at the parks, I'm like, God, what?
Yeah, you feel left out. You're like, I need to make up something that I'm celebrating so I feel special. It's just
like I celebrated saving enough money to come on this trip.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which is a big accomplishment because those are expensive trips. So I get it. Like everyone like wants to feel like they're like everyone usually goes down there celebrating something, and so you don't want to feel left out. But I feel like they dampen some really great accomplishments that other guests are having, and they just kind of seem less special if everyone has them.
They've gotten rid of some of the buttons that I actually really love too. The family reunion button is no more.
I love that one.
I asked for it, and they're like, well, we don't have that anymore. You can have an I'm celebrating. So it's like they've understood this trend too, and they're moving towards just generic I'm celebrating rather than, okay, well, here's a family reunion button, and here's a happy anniversary, and here's just engaged or honeymooning or whatever. And now it's, okay, if you're a couple, you get a happily ever after, and if you're a family, you just get to celebrate.
Right, and they changed that one, didn't they? The happily ever after one or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't it used to just say just married or whatever?
Yeah, there was like a just married, and there was all kind of cool like couple ones. And now you have, I think you still have a just engaged, and you've got happily ever after. So Cameron and I went on our first anniversary, and we got an anniversary button, but we didn't go right after we were married. And I was like, hey, can I, grab a just married button for my collection? And they didn't have them.
I was able to find, when I was working at the Mara at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, like in the cashier drawers, they had some buttons, and apparently nobody had touched these buttons for a very long time because there was like an old happy anniversary button. So I think I grabbed like 2 of those for Jerry and I's like anniversary, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I have a couple that I got from Cast Connections when I was a cast member that are like old buttons before buttons were a really big thing. I have an Epcot birthday one, and it's like a rectangle, and it's got happy birthday in all the languages. Oh, it's my favorite thing. So there's the potential for it to be a really great thing.
Yeah, I think if people like kind of like limit it, and I'm totally guilty of not doing this, but like limiting them to like when it's your actual birthday or like for like accomplishments that you're really proud of, I think it would be cool to like if guests kind of like held themselves accountable for overusing the buttons.
Right, because no cast member is going to be like, it's your birthday? Okay, where's your ID?
I need a birth certificate and at least 2 other forms of ID, please.
Yeah, so celebration buttons is definitely something I love to hate. Speaking of things that I think are overdone and oversaturated in the parks, I'd like to talk about number 9 on our list, matching t-shirts.
We've done matching t-shirts too.
I've done them so many
Ours were
times.
so personal though. Like ours were tailor-made for us, like for our group. So I think
that is okay. That is fine.
Yeah, right. If I look at your shirt and I don't immediately get it, that's cool. I'm okay with that.
So the first time, at least for myself no, it's not the first time I wore a matching shirt. So the first time I did matching shirts, let me go back a couple years, was I was in like 4th grade, and we went for the first time over Christmas. And I guess my mom had heard that like matching shirts were a thing there, so you can like keep track of your family, which is true. And so she bought these like red sweatshirts, and we cut out stencils of like a Christmas tree. And I remember like sponge painting a Christmas tree and then taking gold puffy paint and decorating all of them. I still cannot believe we got my dad to wear that. And he still has it like up in the attic. It doesn't make appearances anymore, but it still exists. And he still like holds on to it. And I think I brought it up a couple years ago, and I was like, how did we get you to do that? And he goes, I don't know. You were little and you were cute and you asked. And I said, yes. So I'm sure that's how a lot of the dads get into these matching shirts.
Yeah. Which is the love part about the shirts. I do love that that's like brings families together and people work really hard on it. And it's part of getting excited, especially for your first Disney trip, is making the shirts.
And then the first time we all wore them as a group was after our college program. We went down for like a reunion trip a year later, and I think I made us a set of shirts that had like, they were like neon highlighter yellow, and they had like the Disney Channel, like, like the stars all do with like their wand in like the corner of the screen. They make the mouse ears on the front, and then on the back, they all had like
cheesy
some
phrase
line from the parks. Yeah, like cheesy park line. I think mine said like, this is the back side of the shirt. As like a children's reference. Or like, ladies and gentlemen, the backside, something stupid like that. But they were fun, and they were fun for us. And then Kelly also made us like a set of matching shirts. And I think they made our trip so much more fun. As like cheesy as they were, and as like silly as some of our pictures were, they reminded us of some great memories we had before that trip, and got to like relive
I think the
them.
ones that I made were like nothing but inside jokes for us, because so like every other cast, like the cast members were like, what does that mean?
Yeah, they really were.
You wouldn't get it.
Don't worry about it.
We cannot start this. We'll be here all day.
Yeah.
We were the obnoxious group.
Our British accents the entire time. Yeah. We're getting off the topic so hard. So
we're talking about our program now. The thing that I hate about the shirts, though, is that they've started to become, people will buy them on like Etsy or other outlets, and it's like so cookie cutter. It's almost like a uniform.
Yeah.
Like, you go to Disney and you all have your little Mickey ears with Poppy and Nana and Mom and Dad on them.
Like, we get it. You're a family.
Yeah.
You're at Disney.
Right,
We get
like,
it.
exactly. We get it. You're a family. It makes a cute picture, but like, we literally see 1,000 people wearing this shirt today. Do something else.
I'm his. I'm hers.
Ugh.
Those with like the Mickey hand pointing at each other
hate
make
her.
me vomit.
Those are horrible.
I hate that park merchandise has started to like make shirts like
I
that.
know.
It disappoints me
So
so
I'm
much.
seeing a trend between the celebration buttons and the
So-
matching shirts is that there's just an oversaturation of them.
Yeah, just overdone.
But you can still do them and do it cute.
Like, if you're gonna do it, like, make it different. Yeah, do something creative. Do something fun. Don't do what everyone else is doing. And then I think I would just love to love them, not love to hate them.
So coming in at number 8 on our list is the Disney look. Every cast member is familiar with the Disney look. It's sort of the dress code, personal hygiene code of Disney as a cast member. When we were all CPs, it was pretty strict. You couldn't have unnaturally dyed hair. There was no facial hair allowed except for a neat, trim, clean mustache. Visible tattoos were an absolute no. They had to be covered up very well. I knew of several cast members who would be sent home on shifts if theirs were showing. And makeup had to be really natural. And I feel like that's really fallen to the wayside. When they introduced beards to the Disney look and started allowing that, I was absolutely mind blown. I know it's just a beard, but that's just so, for years and years and years, that just wasn't allowed.
Right.
And so it looks good on some guys. Don't get me
It does.
wrong. Like, guys can pull it off. Beards are nice. But then you're going to have scruffy beards inevitably. And that's so anti-Disney look. So, like, I like that they're being a little more inclusive and opening it up to different styles and things like that. But at the same time, like, I hate seeing a beard or seeing, like, very loosely covered tattoos. I've seen that in the parks these days.
Yes, I roasted with mine, having to wear a long sleeve shirt under another long sleeve shirt.
Yeah. Especially in the summer heat. I know you worked inside at Garden Grill, but it still gets hot. And like, just walking from point A to point B backstage, like, that's ridiculous to be wearing that many layers to cover up a tattoo.
Right. The couple of shifts I worked downstairs at Sunshine Seasons and I had to take the trash out. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. But like, I get it. Tattoos aren't part of the Disney look. And we all accepted that. Those of us with tattoos going into our programs. But now it's just like they don't care. I took a Kilimanjaro Safaris ride my last trip, and our driver had a tattoo behind his ear, which, I mean, are allowed. They just have to be very well covered and very tastefully. You can't slap a Band-Aid on it. He had a loose Band-Aid that was
gross.
barely hanging on. You could definitely see his tattoo.
Just a Band-Aid, but
Man.
I'd much rather just look at someone's tattoo than a loose Band-Aid covering their tattoo.
Yeah.
Gross.
And I feel like I come off sounding very uptight about that, but like, that was something that was so stressed so much.
Yeah, everyone besides me has a tattoo, and like your husbands and like live-in boyfriends
Yeah.
also all have beards. So like,
Mhm.
it's not coming from like a
Right.
place of like not having a taste for this. Clearly, all three of you do. It's just, I guess, like seeing it in Disney or like seeing like the rules not enforced or like
I totally
don't know.
agree with that.
One part of mine is the sunglasses thing, too. Like, that
Yeah,
is
I
so
forgot about those.
important.
Yeah, so as a Disney cast member, you're supposed to have only wear sunglasses in which like your eyes can be seen through the lenses, like not opaque. And I feel like it does make a difference as like a guest, like talking to an employee who's someone you can make eye contact with versus like not be able to.
Mhm.
There's definitely like
Right.
a difference in that relationship, even if it's for like a couple of moments. Yeah, I like to be able to look someone in their eyes. No, they're looking back at me, not like dismissing me by looking like over my
Right.
shoulder, which you could tell if you could see their eyes.
And it used to be so severe too. Like, you'd be sent
Yeah.
home for things like that.
Oh, yeah.
I see
Quickly.
cast members now who have this like bright blue makeup on and all kinds, which is fine in your own time. But I worked with several people who'd be sent home pretty regularly because they had a taste for brighter, heavier makeup. And they'd come to work and they'd either have to wash it off before they started their shift and went on stage, or they'd be sent home. And now it's just not the standard
Is it
anymore.
why is this like on our list? Like why do we like love to hate this? Like love to hate the Disney look?
I think because I had to like go through it. Like I know how I felt when I was hot in these tattoos, and I'm like, and now they are doing whatever pretty much they want. Like,
Right.
maybe it sounds petty, but like I know how hot I was, and I do not do well being hot.
But on the same thread, I love
Yeah.
inclusion. Like I love that they're expanding what's acceptable
Right.
and what's not, because people look different. Like looks don't matter. But at the same time, it's just coming from having personally experienced.
Yeah, like
It's such a
if
change
I wanted
for
to
me.
go get a job now, like I have very visible tattoos, so it's like, would I get a job? Would I not? So yeah.
Mhm.
My arms got them all over, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I think
well,
the
all
Disney
right.
look has probably always been polarizing and will just continue to be so as long as like tattoos continue to stay on the upward trend like I think they are, and like unnatural hair dye, which has definitely seen a big like increase in recent years. It's definitely trendy. I think like as long as those things continue to trend, the Disney look will probably get more and more lax, because I think like as a big company they realize they're probably like losing out on some talent from people who do have tattoos and do have like to keep their hair blue. They might be great people, but they're not allowed to work on stage at Disney.
And that's a good thing too. I mean, I'm glad that they are doing that.
Yeah, it's one of the things I love that this is what I love about the Disney look changing, is that more people are able to come work at this wonderful company. I had a girl in my training class who had almost platinum blonde hair, and it was natural. It's just how her hair is. And they told her that it wasn't a natural hair color, and she either could dye it or go back home. And she said I would never dye my hair. This is my hair color, and I love it. So she left. They didn't get the opportunity to work with her. She could have been an amazing asset to the company, and because their Disney look was so strict, they lost out on her. So I do love that about it changing.
Okay, and with number 7, we're going to talk about Test Track. Oh, this one grinds my gears a little. Literally, this one definitely gets to me. The old version, I was in love with. I loved it. The first time I went there, I was like, I want to ride this ride. Katie, you can remember that because you tried to get me to go on it. Like, you went in and you actually, like, tested all the different things. Like, and now it's
There's
just
some
like,
neon
what are you even
lights,
doing?
nonsense.
You're driving real fast. And, like, it's not, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's
And
just flashy.
yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. And I mean, I will never forget the frying egg and all these other things. And now it's not a test
what
track
frying
to me.
egg?
It's just not.
Yeah, what the hell are you talking
You
about?
don't remember the frying egg? It was in the heat part. And there was like a frying egg on the like steam thing. And it literally, I'm telling you, look it up. Look it up.
Yeah.
I totally missed it. But
Look it
now
up.
I can never see it again, and I'm really bummed.
Yeah, well, there was. And I just remember those things, and it was just so important, and I loved the ride, and now I love the ride.
I even liked the
still,
queue line
but
from
it
the
doesn't
old
make
test
any
track.
sense.
It was so much fun to see like all the stuff being tested because the name of it is test track, and that makes sense.
Yeah, didn't like the crash dummy get like impaled
He got
by
like
something?
it was like a shocky
yeah.
thing, and like something dropped on him.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Who doesn't want
Yeah.
to see that?
That was cool. I remember like
Yeah.
riding that as a kid. Yeah.
And who doesn't
Right.
love little kids?
Yeah, yeah.
Who doesn't love little kids
Yeah.
jumping every time that thing dropped and made that
I
loud
remember
ass
being
noise?
one of those kids, but my dad being like, look, just wait for it. Wait for it. He was like so convinced it was going to do something cool. And then like, you've got to stand there like waiting for it for 10 minutes. But it was cool. But you're like, it was like
Right, and then it's
educational
like,
and you
oh,
were
shit.
learning things. Now I don't know if I, like as a kid, I would learn anything on that ride.
You learn how to make a fake car that is
Right,
never
you
going to be
don't.
actually
There's
made.
nothing to learn.
My goal every time is to make the ugliest and most underperforming car that I possibly can.
Same.
Same.
Oh, see,
Oh,
I try
no.
to win. I'm
Me
like, I'm going to
too.
make the most efficient. That's like the engineering student in me. That's like, I got to get this as streamlined as possible. And we're going to make it aerodynamic and fuel efficient. Like, you guys are making like these giant pink Hummers.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure I've made that. Or I made like a poop brown car before, and that was
Yep.
very attractive.
Yeah, the zookeeper in me just goes straight for the sustainability.
I make the most annoying, obnoxious car possible.
I wonder like how much of a role that the GM sponsorship plays in this attraction, because I feel like I don't know if like the Imagineers like after
Yeah.
Tron were like let's retheme Test Tracks that it's like Tron, and I could see GM being like no, we're gonna make it all GM.
Definitely not
No.
Tron.
But I don't even see.
It's not
Right.
Tron. Like there's
But I
no
don't even get the
reference
Tron
to
aspect
Tron,
of it,
so-
other than like the colors. Like
But
that's
like
it.
and maybe this is just because I don't keep up with news like that as much as I should. But I was always under the impression when they took Test Track down for so long that it was coming back as
Yeah.
Tron.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
And when it didn't, I was really
I never heard
disappointed.
anything like that.
Right, same. And they
Mhm.
didn't change the track or anything. Like the track is still the same. It doesn't make any sense. The most part of the entire track that doesn't make any sense is when you go on that
Yeah.
first thing and you used to dodge the cones. You don't dodge cones anymore. You dodge air.
Well, no, I think that's like why we thought it was just going to be like a kind of like quick refurb, like just going down to like retheme it to Tron. I think that's like
And that would've
that's
been
what all the
cool.
rumors were going around, and then I think
Be
like
boring.
maybe GM was like, no, like we don't want it to be Tron. We want it to like if we're sponsoring it, we want it to like we don't want any like movie influence. Like we just want it to be about us. And so the Imagineers are probably like, oh, well, we had these like ideas, so I guess we'll
Yeah,
just
there
do
you go.
them, but we won't say
I
they're
think
Tron.
that's the worst part about it for me too is the track didn't
No.
change at all.
Okay.
So it just makes me want the old
It
ride
just
more
lost
when I
its
ride
charm.
it. I just
Yeah, like it had potential to be
So
cool,
lame.
but now it's
Exactly.
I know every time I ride it, my husband Cameron didn't ride it the old Test Track. He's only ridden the new one. And every time I ride it, I try to explain to him and tell him, well, this is what this room was and this is how it was. And he's like, yeah, I'm sure that sounds great, but like this is the only Test Track I know and it's awesome. So I guess for people who've only ever ridden that, it's fine. But anybody who's ridden the old one,
Yeah,
Huh.
true.
But it,
oh my
There's
god,
the line is always so long too.
Yeah.
I feel like I never
yeah.
even get to ride it. Even like I'm not crazy about it, so I'm not going to wait 75 minutes for it.
I'm not even waiting in single rider.
Epcot has those stupid tiers where you like can't make one for Test Track and another cool thing. I don't know what they are,
That
but
is really the worst.
annoying. Love to hate it.
Definitely. You can't not ride it. Like you're still gonna ride Test Track, but I hate the new one.
But every time I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this.
But I'm
But I
still gonna
still
do
have
it. I'm still gonna
fun.
have fun on it. Like we love to hate it.
So let's move into number 6 with interactive cues, which are a relatively new thing that we love to hate. My opinion of them is I love the theming. I love the thought that goes into them. But I do think it definitely like holds up the line a little bit. I understand like the entertainment aspect of it, but you can get stuck playing a game and not notice that the line has moved so much ahead of you and you've got angry people behind you. So
I think it's caused a lot of tension between guests too.
Yeah.
It's like if you're behind a family who's like sitting there playing this game and lines just move in and they're staying there, do you be the person who like just bowls past them? Do you hey guys, the line's moving? And I've told people before the line's moving and they still sit there and play the game.
I
So
think
then what do I
there's
do?
definitely like a proper like etiquette towards interactive cues. Like my first step is always to say like wait a little bit, because I mean like there's no like we're not moving, we're not getting on the ride right now, so like I don't really mind standing here, but like I'd also rather be in front of the interactive part. So like if they're still hogging the cool part for long enough, I'm like, oh, the line is moving. And then if they still didn't move, I can say, okay, do you mind if I go around you if you want to stay here and play? Like, that's fine. But yeah, like I think my first experience with an interactive queue was the Haunted Mansion. And that like blew my mind. The fact that like you didn't have to like just weave back and forth through like some chain link, like you could like enjoy yourself. And it like added so much to the story at that ride that I find it hard to hate. That's more of a love.
Yeah, that is, in my opinion, that's the best interactive queue. It works so well
when
with the
they like give you the choice to go like straight to the house or through the interactive line.
Yeah, that was so nice.
That was
awesome. Yeah, but I was like, I like going through the interactive part, but I want to get on the ride faster.
I do feel like that interactive queue, the Haunted Mansion specifically, like the things that you interact with are like kind of like touch and go things. Like you don't need to stand there unless you're trying to figure out who killed who. Then that could be like a whole hour trying to figure that out if you don't know. But like most of the things,
But conveniently, there's that huge space in front of those tombstones for you to stand and figure that out and let people pass you.
But like most of the stuff is like, hey, touch these books and push them in here, or play this music instrument, and it's like kind of like touch and go. Like you're not holding up the line to experience these new additions.
Yeah, not like on Space Mountain where you're like, I need to stand here and play this game until I win.
I am terrible at that game. I can never control those things.
Right, and I do win.
It is fun. I win.
I get so competitive and aggressive with that game.
Oh, it's so much
bad.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess my opinion's a little different on the Haunted Mansion one. I never actually thought of that one as an interactive queue, honestly. But I just feel like it sometimes holds the line up. But like the only one that I could keep that I thought of was the one in the line for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Like that's the one that always pops in my head the most. And I'm just like, these kiddos, they just like stand there for a year and they'd be like, I'm gonna move this jewel here, but like
I've only done Fast Pass for that ride, so I don't know. I haven't experienced that interactive queue. But like Winnie the Pooh's queue line is can take up a lot of time.
And the worst part about that line is the freaking honey wall.
Yeah.
So germy.
Yeah. Oh, that's gotta be such a disgusting
But
thing.
fun. I always touch it. I always do it. And I'm like, I know how many germs I'm getting on my hands, but I don't care. I need to find Tigger under
Me
this
too.
honey.
Does that mean I love to hate myself?
Yes.
I'm all for interactive cues, but like the ones that you need to touch excessively totally gross me out.
But you're still gonna do it.
I know, every time.
That's what hand sanitizer for. And there's a bathroom like every 30 steps. So,
that's fine, yeah. Right.
True. I would love for them to have hand sanitizer stations there, though. That way I don't have to get the ride.
Yeah.
Just like the ones that you walk past and you just put your hand under really fast. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Dear Disney.
have a good
Right?
Stations.
have a good time and then go wash your
Right.
hands. Thank you.
All right. So we definitely love to hate our interactive cues. But for the lines that don't have interactive cues and you need something to do, I often see people loving to hate on number 5 on our list, apps. So Disney has in the last couple of years really been vamping up their mobile apps, I think. I know I personally am always on the My Disney Experience app.
Same.
Like checking wait times. So yeah, for the like rides where people don't have something interactive with, they're finding something in their pocket or in their hand on their cell phones. And while these like new apps are really cool and you can like check the wait times and make fast pass reservations and dining reservations, like you can order food, like people aren't talking to like the people they're traveling with. They're just all standing in line staring at their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is sad to see.
I do like that they're coming out with some apps now. I don't know if you guys have used the Play app yet.
Oh,
No.
It's awesome.
I'm so jealous.
So you can enter however many people are in your party. You put your party in, and it'll tell you like who to pass it to. And sometimes it'll be like a 2-player one. And there's different games, and they're all Disney themed. Sometimes you have to like take pictures of something that you're in line with, and it's really cool. It's a really good interactive way because they have accepted people are going to be on their phones in line. But it also keeps you engaged with your party. You're not just totally absorbed in your phone.
Oh, that's
so I do
cool.
like that. I do love that aspect of it.
That's cool. I haven't never even heard of that yet. So that's good
it's
to
It's
know.
new. It like
Next
launched this
research
summer, I
trip.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only done the one that's in Toy Story Land while we were waiting for Slinky Dog. But it was really cool.
Yeah, see, that's
Reminded me of the Heads Up that we play.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna try to think of a way to bring that in, but yeah, we were all like engaged with each other and playing and not staring at the phone, but still using a phone to like pass the time and make waiting a little bit easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Has anyone used the apps to order food yet? I just wonder how that is.
I
have.
haven't. I
have
wanted
not.
to, and I was a little nervous.
Yeah, I
You did.
did it in Pandora at the Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You just like go on your app and say you want to order the food, and you say like when you want it to be ready, and it notifies you when it's ready. You get to cut the line and go pick it up.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Huh.
You can pay for it. You pay for it online. So like you don't even you don't have to stand there and like wait for a cashier. It's all done.
So you literally just go up to the window and be like, "This is me.
Yeah.
I'm here to pick up my food."
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's great too for I remember the first time I heard about it, like someone brought up the fact that like moms can do it at like 8 a.m. when they're like getting their kids ready, or like, when the kids are like running off steam, like the second like you have some like downtime as a parent to like get on your phone and like order everybody lunch, and then you just like put in the order when you're ready to go, but you can kind of like set it all up like when you have a moment. And so like when your kids are hungry, you don't have to like you can just place the order and you're ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really convenient.
And not have to wait. And because I know kiddos, they be like screaming and crying.
Yeah,
like,
when they have to wait in like a 30-minute line at Restaurantosaurus for some chicken nuggets. No. You go play in like the boneyard and you order the food, and then when it's ready, you go pick it up.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's really convenient. I will say, though, with all the apps being introduced that makes life easier for your Disney vacation, they don't have enough charging stations.
No,
like, if I use those apps all day, my phone's going to be dead.
Yeah.
And I have a newer phone. But sometimes I'm in the park for upwards of 12 to 14 hours.
Right.
My phone's not going to last that long. Ordering food, making fast passes, and checking wait times.
I know. I always have to bring a spare battery.
Mm-hmm. And usually with us, we know where the outlets are. But people who it's their first time or they're not familiar with the parks, they don't know where they can hang out and go charge their phones.
Or now, like with so many people needing to charge their phones more often, there's never an available outlet. Even like years ago when you used to be like, oh, I know there's one like over here. Like somebody's already there. Like there's some teenager with their phone plugged in. Like you can't even get like a hidden one that they use for vacuuming. Like forget it.
And that they have the little tree stump chargers over at the Rapunzel's bathroom at Magic Kingdom now, which is ingenious. But you could never find an outlet there. There's always parents with their strollers hanging out with their kids, charging their phones. And they're using every charge port available.
I used to use the one always in the animation building that's now the Star Wars place. And I always used to use that one over there when I would go in to draw or see Sorcerer Mickey or whatever. And that was my place. But I don't go in there anymore.
Yeah, there's my standby is the one at Cosmix in the corner. And I only go in the downtime for the restaurant. And it's usually open. But I've also seen people change
know where it is.
Diapers there, so...
Oops.
So your phones can be great and they can be used for a lot of things. One of the things that's really nice to be able to use your phone for in the park is FastPass Plus. So that brings us to our number 4, which is the FastPass Plus system. It's really great and really convenient, but it's also kind of a pain in the ass. It's nice to be able to make all these fast passes ahead of time. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to run around from ride to ride. Know your times that you can get a new pass. But at the same time, you've got all these tier systems, and you have to plan your whole vacation like hour by hour. That kind of takes the fun out of it, at least for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think having every single ride and everything planned just kind of takes like the fun and spontaneity out of just being in the park. So I used to love the paper fast passes, not only like just getting them and keeping them as souvenirs, but having that kind of like, oh, let's go run and get a fast pass for this. And then when that's over, let's go get this for this. So it kind of took out like the spontaneity of a Disney vacation.
Yeah.
I feel like it also, as much as, I really love to hate the FastPass Plus system. So when it first came out, I was pissed because I'm like, no. I used to be able to get like 7 to 10 fast passes in a day because like you get to know like which ones run out earlier, like which ones you can run to. There were like certain like third-party apps people were making that told you what time the fast passes were currently being offered for. You knew where to go to check for the times. Like you could run around and you could really like beat the rest of the guests at this game if you knew what you were doing. And I think I knew what I was doing. So I was like really proud of myself. Like I'd be able to get through a lot of rides and like everything I wanted to ride, I could get a fast pass for. With this new system that they were limiting me to 3 rides and I had to know like months in advance what ride I would want to be on each day at what time, I found very like frustrating.
Yeah, totally.
However, I do really like, now that I feel like they've gotten some of the kinks out and I've learned kind of how to use the system better, I really like not having to run around the park. It's really nice to just be able to pull your phone out of your pocket and go, oh yeah, let me check if we can make a fast pass for later. And like, it's so nice instead of like running from like, I remember running from Expedition Everest to like, oh no, there's no more fast passes. We gotta like run back to the safari. Like, oh no, there's no more fast passes here. Okay, we gotta run back, like just trying to like run all over the park looking for something for a fast pass when you could have just waited in line for a ride. Like, and then traveling with like older, like when I travel with my parents, like my dad's like, I'm not running. If you want to run around and get a fast pass, that's fine. But like, I'm not doing that. So for like family vacations, the Fast Pass Plus was really great.
So the Fast Pass Plus system is a really good love to hate, but for me, this next one is just all hate. Number 3 is Starbucks in the parks. So I know there's a lot of division on Starbucks. Personally, I can't stand them. I didn't like McDonald's when they were in the park. I'm not going to like Starbucks when they're in the park. To me, you're at Disney, you're in this immersive experience, an immersive world. You can't have Starbucks that you're going to have down the street at home at Disney. I hate it. It makes me so mad. And the worst one is the one that replaced the Main Street Bakery.
It's horrible.
Awful.
I don't really like that one. I am kind of like on the fence about this. It doesn't really bother me that much because I know what I want at Starbucks and I know I can get it exactly the same way made in Disney World as I get it made at home. So I think I appreciate that, and I appreciate like that it's kind of universal. Like there's a Starbucks everywhere. Everybody knows what they can get when they go to the park. So that's my thing. I don't really care for the one that took over the Main Street Bakery, but again, it's fine with me.
Right. I'm sure that is nice for you because you have certain things that you can't have.
Yeah.
True, I can see from like an allergy standpoint that that's beneficial, but it just still pisses me off. How do you feel about them, Steph?
I'm really indifferent. Like, I don't know. When I need a cup of coffee, I'll get a cup of coffee. I'm not like a Starbucks addict. I like that I like know where they are in every park. Like I just took a trip to Disneyland with my mom, and each night, like we were doing like park open to park close. So around like 8:00 each night, we needed a little jolt of caffeine, and I like knew where to go. And no matter what park we were at, I knew it was on like the right side of the entrance, on like the version of the main street. And it's like that in Magic Kingdom. It's like that in Epcot. It's like that in Hollywood Studios. Like you know where to go if you need a cup of coffee. So I do like that aspect of it. And like I get what you guys are saying, that you don't like that Starbucks kind of replaced like this like mom and pop version of a coffee shop and bakery on Main Street. But it's a big like revenue opportunity, I think, for Disney.
True.
And I mean, those lines are always really long and they move really fast. Like the cast members in there are awesome. I don't know how they get through those lines as fast as they do. Much faster than any other Starbucks I've been in, I think. So I can appreciate that.
Some really cute coffee mugs from there. I like those.
Yes.
Mugs. I do really like them.
I would love to have all of those.
Yeah, I do love the stupid mugs.
I really love the regular cups. Like
yeah,
just like the paper cups and the plastic cups that they have with like the little like Mickey confetti. It's really cute.
Right, just a little touch.
They make me angry because it just reminds me of
Oh God.
Like I would love them if Disney made that design, but since it's Starbucks.
But you can't get it anywhere else.
I know, but it still makes me angry.
Another thing that I love about Starbucks being in there is getting a chocolate croissant every morning, because that is my absolute favorite thing to eat. So I know that I can get one there. Like that's like,
but you could get one in France.
I know, but I'm not in Epcot every single day. So,
Okay, all right.
To be fair, though, now that you have the apps, you can find a chocolate croissant anywhere on the bus ride to the park, and you wouldn't have to go to Starbucks. I just don't like any of Starbucks food. It all tastes prepackaged and gross to me, even the ones at the park.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the option to go to France and Epcot and get a chocolate croissant there, yes, I will definitely do that.
Right.
But if I'm in Animal Kingdom and I need that chocolate croissant, I'm going to go to Starbucks.
I feel you, girl.
And it's on the way to Pandora. You just go, well, let me just
Right.
swing by and get one because I know I'm going to have to wait a couple hours for flight of passage. So might as well have my croissant and cup of coffee.
Or your green tea latte. That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Disney thing. Or Starbucks, not Disney. Starbucks thing is green tea latte.
Yes, Kelly, you got me hooked on those. I had one the other day too.
Delicious. I make them for myself all the time. I'm just like, best thing ever.
But my cup didn't have fun Mickey and Cinderella castles on it, so it was lame.
You can draw them.
Kelly could draw them. I could not draw them.
Starbucks has like a Disney refillable cup that you can buy in the park. So you just need to get that and bring it home with you. And then every green tea latte will be a Disney green tea latte.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Genius.
Do those
Dear
exist?
Disney.
I have no idea. I haven't been to Disney World in so long.
They should exist.
I mean, they have to because I would think that they would.
No, because they have them at the other Starbucks, like, outside of Disney. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
If not, they're missing like a huge
Huge.
revenue thing there. Like, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look. Okay, research trip.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm still not supporting Starbucks though. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I hear what you're all saying, and I understand that there are good aspects, but I would have just much preferred if Disney had made this like high-end version of a coffee shop that was Disney and put that in the parks instead. Made up their own brand, their own company. Like they could have done it. They didn't have to do a Starbucks. Universal has a Starbucks in it. They don't need the same.
But
thing
also, like,
Universal
where do
has.
you think Disney's gonna be getting their own coffee beans from?
Girl, I don't know. It's Disney. They be growing them.
They can grow them.
Yeah, they'd figure it out. That is the least of their obstacles.
You can drive through a coffee farm on Living with the Land in your little boat, and you see how it goes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, that could work.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, it
Mhm,
looks like there are Disney parks ceramic travel mugs. I don't know if they would refill them though. At the
Well, I mean, either way, you could at least use them.
right, and you can bring it home and feel good about yourself, and you don't have
Girl,
to.
we
draw.
all have mug problems. We have too many mugs. We all own too many mugs.
Too many.
Not talking about you, Katie, at all.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I just took a bunch out of the cabinet because they were like, I couldn't close the cabinet door. So I'm like, where else can I put these? They're going on my windowsill now.
Right.
And they're just
Ooh.
displayed.
I told Cameron I want him to build me a mug cabinet so I can display them so people can see them.
Okay, I can take that, but like that doesn't give you an excuse to get any more right now.
I'll find an excuse.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
what I'm hearing is so Katie and Rachel are going to stick to Joffrey's, and then me and Stephanie will just go to the nearest place you can get coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But Joffrey's though, Joffrey's coffee is good, and
Yeah, Joffrey's is pretty damn good, and they always have a seasonal something.
can you get those? Where can you get those other than there? I don't know. I've never seen one.
I think it's like a Florida-based coffee. I think Tampa, maybe. Maybe I could be wrong. Could be
Good
very.
for them.
I just listened to like a whole episode on the Starbucks entering the parks on another podcast.
Are you over there researching now, Rachel?
You better know it. It still doesn't tell me where they're located though.
Disney World.
Well, yeah.
Quit your Googling.
Starbucks is a love and a hate.
A huge love and a hate. Actually, just a hate.
Yeah, just a hate. But and one that's just a love for me is the next one.
But it's just a hate for me, and I do not like it at all.
Yeah,
Number
this
two
does not belong on
is
our love to hate list.
Small
This is a love
World.
to love list.
I don't understand how you hate Small World. This is a humoring Rachel on this one.
I don't know how this ended up at number 2. Rachel just feels really, really strongly about it.
Tell us about your strong feelings.
It's got clowns in it, and I cannot hang there. No.
You make it sound like it's got it.
It's like
popping out
one
from
or
somewhere.
two
It's
little
got these,
teeny
like,
clowns.
beautiful, like well-designed, artistic clowns.
But it might as be him. Okay? In that hot air balloon that I always get stuck right under. I cannot. I can't. And then the song, it's cute. Everybody knows it, but it's so horrible.
Yeah, I think we put this at number 2 because there's a lot of other people that love to hate it or just hate it. So we were like, yeah, we'll put that at number 2. But I love it. I love the history. I love knowing how it was made and like it being at the 1964 World's Fair and everything that was built for it and how all the costumes are made. Like, there's
Yeah,
just
I
so
love
much
that like
to
my
love about that
parents
ride
and like
how classic
grandparents
it
who
is.
went to that World's Fair can like still experience like such a similar ride, and I get to like experience it with them. Like it's really cool. And even like the updates they've
Yeah.
done in Disneyland have like really stayed true to like
And
the
did they
original, and I think that's one of like the best like overlays like or like little updates I've seen in a ride. I love it. It's a must do.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
It's so classic Disney. I think even when you do hate it, you still have to ride it when you're there. Yeah, it is. It's a must do.
Okay, but I haven't ridden it in the past like 3 years, y'all. I
my
can't.
God, that's gross.
I can't. Josh has never ridden it.
That is so sad. You are depriving him.
You have to he has to ride it at least once.
He has to ride it with us because we appreciate it. Well, somebody needs to go escort him through that ride who loves it.
I mean, I'll do it, but
If you know where the clown is, just don't look at it. Like the Yeti on the expedition.
okay. But if you get stuck up under them,
You can look down, you can look straight, you can look left, you can look right.
this is what I will tell you. I love just a little about this. I like the Mickeys that you can find, all the hidden Mickeys. Those are fun.
Does have
There's
some
a ton
good-
of them. There is a ton of them, and I love doing that, and that's great, and it takes my mind off of the things I don't like. And then at the end, where you're going by all the different goodbyes and the different languages,
Yeah, I think
those
that's
are
fun.
neat.
It's like a fun like learning opportunity too for little kids to learn about like other cultures and other languages, especially if they're not into like World Showcase.
I like saying Das Vidanya.
That's fun.
The only thing that I don't like about Small World is that the
Oh,
boats
wow.
get backed up every single time. And like getting stuck on it is one thing. When you're like stuck in the ride, you have stuff to look at. There's no matter how many times you've been in whatever room, there is always something you haven't noticed. But if you're getting stuck right there in like that loading section, God,
You
it's
get
horrible.
rammed in the butt by another boat. That's never
Do you guys have a favorite like Small World like animatronic or doll or like feature?
I love the
are there-
skeletons. Is that?
I'm
am I
thinking.
thinking? Of
Yeah,
that?
I'm thinking.
I was getting.
I think that's in Three Caballeros.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Whoops.
Because I was about to say I really like the Donald, but that's definitely Donde Está Donald. So that's not in Small World.
You go into Mexico and it's a small world, right? I'm pretty sure there's skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll say they are. And if
We're
they're
gonna go
not,
with yes. Research trip.
we can email Disney and tell them to put some damn skeletons in.
And take out the clowns.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
One of my favorites is in the like I love the rainforest room, jungle room, and they have like these birds with just like swirly heads. Like that's all they do. They just swirl around in circles. They're like really tall, like lanky looking birds, and I think they're fun.
My favorite are the platypus with
yeah.
the eggs. Because they're such a cool animal anyway, and they have the eggs. And so they're like one of the only egg-laying mammals. I just think it's so cute that they have them there.
I also like the hula girls that just like their hips are just they don't lie.
Yeah. They don't. I love when they get
Yeah.
off sync. It makes them seem so human.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing that's cool for me. Do you remember the game that they put out for the Wii for it was the ink game, like the Epic Mickey thing or whatever? Did y'all ever know that? They had a Small World section on there, and that was cool. It was neat to play because everything
The
was all
ride
like
is cool.
old and like swampy and stuff, and you just like you could kind of tell what it was, the different parts of the park. And I wish that I could play it now because I'd probably enjoy it way more. I would definitely probably enjoy that way more. I wonder if I still have it. I don't know.
Kelly, did you find your
I
skeletons?
think they are in the other ride.
Caballeros,
Yeah.
the three caballeros.
Yeah, like I knew exactly what you were
These
talking
rides
about.
are so similar looking.
They are.
They
When
are.
you said that, I was like, oh yeah, definitely in Small World. Mm-hmm.
So I'll go with the Hula Girls on It's a Small World then.
Yeah. Right. Because my first thing was going to be like, Donald hanging from. No.
Me too.
He's not
It's
in that
so
ride.
good.
I do wish
are.
that our version at Disney World had the Disney characters in it, though. I think that's really cute. The Lilo and Stitch ones are just
I like
delicious.
the Woody and Jessie, I think, because they look so silly, but they're so cute.
So Small World is one of everybody's must-do when they go to Disney. Another must-do is what comes in at number 1, which is Stacy and the Must-Dos.
Stacy.
Because you have to watch it.
It's like the epitome of love to hate.
It's the first thing that comes on TV. Even if like I always just turn on the TV for like some extra noise in the room, and there's Stacy giving it to you. Like she's there. She's giving you the must-dos. You must do the must-dos at Disney, which I always thought was just a line that I like mocked her for, but she actually says that. I watched the YouTube video earlier today.
You must do it. It's not a Disney trip without watching Stacy and the Must-Dos. Sounds like a band.
This is a must-do.
They should do that. They should have Stacy and the Must-Dos like wandering around Hollywood Studios.
The other people can be dressed up as the Must-Dos.
Well, she has had to been at Hollywood Studios recently, right? Because she's going to have to do Toy Story Land.
Yeah, she's going to have to must do that. I bet she already has must done it.
I'll let you know.
I love it.
Because I'm definitely going to watch her in February.
The next time we're all at Not So Scary, we're going to be Stacy and the Must-Dos.
Holy crap!
People dress up as Stacy, but not Stacy and the
But
Must-Dos.
also, I watched the video like right before we started recording, and
Stacey
they
and
edited
the
out like I
Must-Dos.
guess they've had so many like new additions to the parks. Like now they talk like the mine trains are a must do. Like Disney Springs is a whole segment. They like really cut back on some of her like really quirky one-liners. Like I have this image of her, like in Blizzard Beach with like pigtail braids, being like, "Girl, what are you doing?" Yeah, and that was like iconic, like Stacy Must-Dos. But they like, they kind of like skimmed over Blizzard Beach now to make room for other things.
I wonder if they changed that seasonally too. I've never paid enough attention to it. I wonder if in the winter they even show that much of Blizzard Beach in Typhoon Food.
Never thought about that.
Or at all.
I just really hope they don't phase her out.
Yeah, she's one thing that as much as she annoys me, I don't ever want to see her leave. I'll be upset if
Ever.
she leaves or gets replaced.
She covers some good must-dos. There's like some thrill rides, some like family slower rides. It was a good, and things you wouldn't even think of like outside of the parks. Like it was a really good mix of things. And I was like, this is a good video. And like I think they made her less annoying over the years. Like I get it. She's there to like hype up the parks and like hype up the rides, and everything is so cool and like so fun, and like I get it. That's her job, but it was annoying.
It's a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Watch it.
It is so much.
I think we take for granted too, like how well versed we are at the parks because we've gone so many times and we lived there for a year of our life that like we're like, oh yeah, whatever, Stacy. Like everybody knows that. Not everybody knows that. There are people who show up and like they don't do their research. They book their room, they buy their tickets.
Yeah, my dad's friend just went for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, can you help give my friend some advice?" And I was like, "I don't even know where to begin." Like, had never been, like, knew nothing about it. Yeah. So Stacy's doing a good job.
And it might also be kind of fun. It would be kind of fun to do it with like fresh eyes, like you'd never been before.
That would be
Oh,
really
I'd
cool.
love to do that.
And Stacy would help.
Yeah, she totally would.
Right. I turned Stacy on for Josh the first time that he went because his first time was like 2 years ago or whatever. And I was like, you have to watch Stacy before we go anywhere. You have to watch her. And he's like,
Stacy and herself is a must-do.
I'm like,
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Stacy is the number one must do. I did the same thing for Cameron the very first time I took him. He was an adult the first time we went to Disney. And so you kind of miss out on a lot when you don't go as a kid, I think, for the first time.
mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you just need to sit down. You need to watch this. I'm going to go take a shower and just watch Stacy.
Right.
Stacy will get you hyped. She'll get you ready.
Right.
And then we go into the parks. Get ready.
Oh,
I love to
her
hate
so
her.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to be like, shut up, Stacy.
Right, because you accidentally leave the TV on for like 3 hours when you get back from the parks. And you're like, oh, Stacy. And you're like, oh no, this is my bad. Like, this is my bad. I could have changed the channel, but I chose not to.
You could have just turned her off. It's fine.
She's always there.
She's always there. She really is, though. Every time you turn the TV on, I'm pretty sure it's just Stacy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that completes our list of things that we love
And
to
our
hate.
first top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first top 10.
Woo woo.
We hope that you guys enjoyed it. We really enjoyed going
Yeah,
through a top
it was
10.
a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. It brought back a lot of good stuff.
Good stuff.
Let us know what some of you guys love to hate at Walt Disney World. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Get in touch with us. Email us at spillingthemadtea@gmail.com.
Or let us know at Spilling Mad Tea on Twitter.
And don't forget to follow us at Spilling the Mad Tea on Instagram.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We can't wait to have you back at our next unbirthday party.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.